I now recognize Ms. Simon from California for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you to the witnesses. We don't have to argue that small businesses are the backbone of our economy. I love this committee because we consistently lift that up. You know, there are many issues that have been covered in this hearing, and I will repeat some of them. You know, my concern, the concern of many, is that we have come together as a committee with a profound mission of advancing opportunities for small businesses in this country. You know, just in the last few days, we know that 401(3)s and 401(k)s have been thrown out of the window for folks. Folks have lost so much. We also know that in this committee, we have said together, cross aisle, we will make a commitment to disabled folks, to our veterans, to women-owned businesses on Main Street, on Telegraph Street, on Broadway streets. And here we are having a conversation trying to figure out how to advance our way forward. I think we all know what we want. We want a more efficient sector. We want a government agency that can show up at the doors, where the websites work. Within the last 2 weeks, hundreds of SBA workers have been fired. We are talking about closing down 6 agencies in major cities in this country. So I want folks who are watching to know the dry cleaner, the auto repair dealer, the barber shop, the woman who called my office yesterday who's starting a home care business to make sure that our elders have trained wonderful MAs at their homes every single day doing work that many of us have never done. Where is she going to go? She's called from outside of my district to get support. You know what? She'll be on the phone for hours. The websites, they were already difficult to access 3 administrations ago, 4 administrations ago. What are we doing? What are we doing? And now we have this conversation that has become real, that tariffs have met the doors of our small businesses. We know that entrepreneurs are already working day and night to keep their doors open. We also know that the cost of doing business in the last couple of weeks has shot up. These policies are cruel. They're cruel. And they don't focus on low income and middle income and working class people who are trying to get off a government dole, who want to make good for themselves and offer the folks in their communities and their sons and their daughters jobs. They want to send their kids to college. We are kicking them in the ribs. Not only the folks who work for small business agency, but the folks who are on the ground. You hire an inspector general and then you fire them. You fire tons of workers, hundreds of workers. And then we have a policy that chooses to enact tariffs that will destabilize this country. It's cruel, and we know that. We don't have to litigate that. Any one of us who've run small businesses, who've run payrolls, I've ran payroll since I was 19 years old. I've hired hundreds of workers. I've trained workers to leave incarceration and the streets and foster care to get jobs, whether they're doctors or lawyers or medical providers. I've done that work. I know how hard it is to keep an institution alive when you're by yourself. Fine, close 6 agencies and see what happens to our economy. We'll see. We'll see when you fire IRS workers, when you fire frontline workers in communities that are helping small businesses. I have to ask, do we care? Do we truly care about folks on the ground? You know, I have one quick question, which I think I know the answer to. You know, with all that we're talking about, I want to say before I ask my question, it will be quick. This fiscal year alone in my district, our local SBA office has served on the, literally on the front lines, 822 small businesses, offering $351 million of direct loans to keep businesses afloat. If we care, we would advance those opportunities, not take them away. You're automating support through these actions. You know, Mr. Trent, I only have a couple of seconds left. How can having field offices near metro areas be a strategic choice and also an effective use of taxpayer dollars to serve small businesses? How can having these offices near metro areas be a strategic choice to support small businesses? Just a quick answer.
Just quickly say that because a lot of these city centers are hubs for entrepreneurship, where there's a real preponderance of small business activity,
The gentlewoman's time has expired.